Y'all think y'all have heard about slap on the wrist before until you've heard the story of this woman, Dori Myers. So, about 2 years ago, in November of 2016, Lori Myers was caught. I don't know if she was caught in the act, but she was exposed, I should say, for giving oral sex to a 14-year-old student at the school that she teached at in the Bronx, New York. So that means she had to be 28 at the time, and the student was 14. She's 30 now, and the student is, or the child is now 16. And the way she was exposed was one of the friends to the student told a teacher about it. So the student probably told him, and then they told the teacher, and then the teacher let that other faculty member let the cat out of the bag. Well, here's where her slaps on the wrist come in. So they went to court, had a trial. They tried to send this woman to prison for at least 2 years for the crime she committed. Now, had this been a male teacher, it would have been a whole lot more years they would have tried to throw at him. This is what they were trying to get her to have, was just a minimum of 2 years at the most. But guess what happened? Not only did she not get the 2 years in prison, but she's also not going to get any jail time at all. This woman only got 10 years probation. And this is the worst part. She was able to keep her teaching license. But here's the other thing. And I'm surprised they even did this, considering they didn't give her any jail time and they let her keep her teaching license. But they also have her registered as a sex offender. So let me get this straight. This woman performs oral sex on a 14-year-old student, which is statutory rape. She doesn't get any jail time. She gets 10 years probation, and she's able to keep her teaching license. So, and she's registered as a sex offender. So you mean to tell me you're going to allow a sex offender who's registered to continue teaching or being around students? Because I read the article and it didn't say anything about her not having to be around other students. Racism and sexism definitely play a huge part and factor in this, because if this was a black teacher, done away with. If this was a man, definitely done away with, as far as them going to jail, losing their teaching license, being registered as a sex offender. I want to know, where are the Me Too Time's Up individuals? See, this is exactly why I keep my foot on their necks, because they rarely ever call out the women who are involved in these types of acts, with the exception of Asia Argento. And the only reason they're calling her out is because she is a major figure. But they don't want to talk about individuals like these. And this is a story that has gone viral. But it's funny because you would think that this just happened, but this happened 2 years ago and we're just now finding out about it. So they kept this as quiet as they possibly could until all of this kind of blew up in our faces. It's crazy, it's madness, but it's not surprising. It shows that if you are a white woman, you can get away with a lot of things that a man, no matter what the race, couldn't get away with. Well, in some exceptions, because some white men get away with a lot of stuff. I mean, look at Brock Turner, for instance. But if you are a black man, especially, you will never get away with doing something like this, and you shouldn't. I'm not saying that you should, but you should. I'm just putting it into perspective. This woman literally got away with statutory rape. And she was able to and she didn't lose anything. Like, she lost nothing, to be quite honest. What, 10 years probation? Okay. What's 10 years probation? All she got to do is just keep her nose clean for the next 10 years until 2028. But guess what? Some people are going to probably forget all about this. The only people that's going to remember it are her probation officer and the judge. And her. And the student, of course. But it's just, that's just the way things work for people. If you, if you are of a certain image, or in some cases a certain sex. But that's really all I have to say about this story. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe. The links for this article as well as my contact information will be in the description. The links for the shirts will be pinned down to the comments below. I'll talk to you in the next one.